Guys.
Hey, Bubba, let's sit down.
Sit.
Heck of a way to start my weekend and heck of a way to end my weekend, passing out. Pat myself on the back for that.
After his NASCAR debut in the Cup Series, Bubba Wallace suffered from heat exhaustion at Pocono Raceway in 2017. Wallace, with a phenomenal day for his rookie race, actually did very well, but it was until after the race when he said he didn't pay attention to how much water he was intaking during the race and ended up passing out on pit road due to overheating inside the race car throughout the day. Wallace was able to rebound after this and run 5 more races for Richard Petty Motorsports 2017 and made a name for himself in the Cup Series. But man, this was scary to watch Bubba Wallace on pit road after the race.
In this 40-car field, here's Bubba Wallace debriefing and getting lightheaded right there after finishing 21st. And Jamie, is he okay?
Yeah.
What did it mean to you to see everybody come together and recognize and take a moment of listening? You okay? He's not okay.
Welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Bubba Wallace is okay, being tended to by medical personnel there, but you see he is okay.
Jimmy Johnson obviously feeling very under the weather as he climbed from his car and was helped by medical personnel. And we get more from Vince Welch. Vince.
Alan, Jimmy got out of the car under his own power, and when he climbed from the car, he immediately sat down, seeming very dehydrated, and in fact at one point even laid down on his back beside the car. The crew members that were there beside the car with him actually lifted him up and kind of held him up as he stood by the car, and then was obviously very faint, went back down, and at that point they called for medical help. Several crew members literally picked Jimmy up and carried him over the wall to the stretcher, the mobile stretcher that was there that you saw him on. They loaded him up, brought him here to the medical center, and we're awaiting further word.
After winning his final race ever in NASCAR, Kasey Kahne was suffering from massive heat exhaustion after holding off Brad Keselowski for multiple laps. This race was held at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Indiana in the late stages of July. This race was pure heat for all the drivers. They had multiple red flags, and they were already in their race cars for 6 hours prior to the finish of this race. So this had to have been one of the worst races that NASCAR drivers have ever suffered from heat at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Continuing off of Indianapolis, AJ Allmendinger suffered from heat after 2022. He actually also lost power steering and was unable to wheel his car after the race. So suffering from heat and power steering issues, this had been extremely difficult for the road course driver to do it all. But he even brought it home with a good finish for his 16 Kaulig car. AJ Allmendinger is by far one of the best drivers on road courses out there. He could have been one of the only drivers to probably ever do this.
If he makes another lap, then they can't add fuel to the car, so he's got to come in here, Benny.
Come on, you're 10 away here, DJ, right in front of the 41. Come on in here. Come on, right here.
All right, Dave, go ahead.
Here they go. The 3 guys going in the car. On the other side, Jay Guarnieri hopped in through the window. B. Hoover will jump in and help Martin Truex jump in. But Big Jeff Clark is now helping Junior out of the car. He's the gas man, helps Junior get out. Gas man for the team, Bill Snyder, will fuel the car. You heard him discussing the understanding of the lucky dog rule. They must fuel now because they can't come in later and do it. Now Truex is in the car. They will try to buckle him in. Again, the team helping him. And Martin trying to do what he can, but Guarnieri on the other side doing most of the buckling. Window net and belts have to be tightened, or the NASCAR officials look at him looking in the car, making sure that he is safe to re-enter the speedway. They say that he is, they don't stand before him, and he leaves. They beat the pace car out.
Man, the crowd is loving all this drama on pit road with a driver change.
So, now if he got everything attached, he'll stay out. But if he needs to come in, he's got some time. Make sure everything is connected, especially the radio.
In 2004, Dale Jr. was racing a sports car race at Sonoma on an off week. He ended up being collected in this accident and bursting into flames. Earnhardt would suffer multiple burns all over his body and especially his legs. This would make it very difficult for Junior to finish out the 2004 summer races, and he will require a relief driver, and that driver would be Martin Truex Jr., making his first ever start in the Cup Series when he filled in for Dale Jr. at New Hampshire.
Busch almost collapsed when he got to that synthetic turf, got out of his car. You could tell that it was a toll on him today.
Yeah, Jeff and I have been there. These wreck cars, you talk about the crush panels going out, the heat goes up inside the car, the carbon monoxide, it's just a horrible feeling. And you can see the medical crew there with Kyle. Sometimes you feel like you can't breathe, just a terrible situation to be in. You have to admire this man for staying in there, gutting out, doing what he had to do, but you could see the exhaustion there.
Coach Joe Gibbs there checking on him.
We saw a smile on Kyle Busch's face. He's able to stand up, walk around, and that is a great sight after we saw how exhausted he looked laying on the turf.
In 2017, deep into the playoffs, Kyle Busch ended up getting wrecked in the middle of the race, but he crushed in the crush panels to his race car, putting carbon monoxide in his race car. After the race, he basically passed out on pit road until medical attention was there to help him. He was able to get up and walk away after this and get in the ambulance to be treated after the race.
Drivers have been out of the car, either sitting outside their cars, getting ice put on them. We've seen some drivers taken to the infield care center. There's A.J. Allmendinger, and he immediately has ice on his right heel. He's racing in the Cup race tomorrow.
Those floorboards can just get so hot. We heard him complain about it during the day.
That exhaust pipe runs directly beneath your feet, and the exhaust temperatures coming out of those cylinder heads are like 1,400 degrees, and all that works itself back directly into the car.
Try to cool those feet down as quickly as he can. Now he's going to pour the ice water directly on the socks. Try to get those feet cooled down as quickly. And we see the AMR safety crew there also attending to these drivers. We saw Ryan Vargas, he was carted off as well just a few moments ago. Again, yeah, there's Ryan headed to the infield care center.
And once again, Kyle Petty, whose 45 car is out of this race, wrecked earlier, has been called to replace Kevin in the cockpit. They're about the same size height-wise. Kyle may be a little bit taller and hopefully able to overcome that right shoulder situation that Kevin was having. Get his right arm falling asleep. They know they have to get someone in there, so they'll pull Kevin out and they'll put Kyle Petty in the 29 car.
And they're going to lose at least a couple of laps making this driver change, at least one, getting Kyle strapped in as the pace car is almost around to them now.
And this is going to, they're going to take a hit in points because of this.
So big turn there for some of the drivers in the race to the chase in the late stages here at Bristol tonight. Relief drivers used to be not an uncommon thing here at Bristol, right, BP?
Oh, no. I came here with John A. Esman about every time I came in the 70s.
In 2004, in the Bristol night race, Kevin Harvick suffered from body fatigue in his left arm especially. He had just previously ran the NASCAR Xfinity Series race there the day prior. So Kevin Harvick already was sore from racing over 300 miles the day before. And in the August heat, it will wear on you, and it wore on Kevin Harvick. Unfortunately for him, he was unable to complete the Sharpie 500, and Kyle Petty, who was previously involved in an accident that day, was able to fill in for him and help him finish the day out strong for the 29 team.
Sunday on NBC and streamed on Peacock. We saw William Byron climb out of the car. The first thing he did, he sat down. He was exhausted. Marty.
Tell you what, this is a big break for Kyle Busch. Denny Hamlin is ready, and they will get to do this under yellow.
Yeah, this will be a big break for Justin Allgaier, too.
Yes, sir.
Get in here and get that car fixed.
Yeah, he is 18th right now. Stephen Wallace is 9th. That's the 18 radio we're listening to.
Hit before it opens. If we're coming, we got to come right now.
There's Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, Biffle peels off, Edwards, but we're going to stay right here because this obviously very important.
Make sure it's shut off. Make sure it's shut off, okay?
Vince? Well, you heard Jason Ratcliffe in the communication with his team members. Just complimenting Kyle Busch on not being able to see anybody get out of the car that quick, so Kyle did that very effortlessly. Now Denny Hamlin is in. As noted, there's not any changes inside the car that are necessary, not a change of the steering wheel or the belts. Everything will remain the same with Denny Hamlin.
This is one I actually had forgotten about. Kyle Busch needed a relief driver, and it was his teammate Denny Hamlin who filled in for him when they raced at Joe Gibbs Racing together in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. This is something that you rarely ever see. Kyle Busch get out of a race car and let somebody else in it. I only remember that happening when he was either suspended or hurt, but for him just to get out of a race car after previously driving, it's something shocking to me.